Alright, we've got a couple packages to go through, but first we have this heavy box. Probably heavy because I'm guessing this is the Gundam Reconguista G Movie 5. Hard to get that angle. Gotta be careful because I don't want to cut myself with the scissors. I mean, the good news for y'all is if I did, I'd probably cut that from the video. There we go. I could be mistaken about what's in here. Oh, nope, that's the Gundam for sure. Okay, just making sure there's nothing else in there. That says 4. I thought it was a 5, but maybe I'm mistaken. But you know what? I can probably just... Okay, there we go. So yeah, movie part 5 did ship, but it looks like this also shipped 5 days ago. Okay. Very confused. Maybe I don't try this with the scissors. Because then I don't know what this is, because I thought this was something else that I also ordered from Right Stuff that shipped at the same time as movie 5, but I don't know. It's clearly not here. Nani? Did I accidentally order this twice? I don't think so, but well, I guess worst case if I did, then it'd be another duplicate. Sorry, I've got a little package. I just started opening it off screen. None of these are okay. Okay. Oh wait, don't want to go too far with this. So I've got this to open. I don't know. I'm not doing this as much on camera as I really should. I guess I'm pondering too much. Alright, so Levius. You know, it's the same font in all of them, and Levius? I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. I think I'm parsing it right, but its font is weird enough that I guess, I don't know. Oh my god. This plastic's being kind of annoying. Just get off already. Oh, yeah, and that wasn't even all the plastic. But at least it's different underneath the slipcover. Don't know what to make of this series, though. This plastic has just been really annoying for this one. What can we say about the back? I see a region A there, Netflix, Warner Brothers. Is that audio? I don't think that's audio. Standard definition. So this is a series. Unless it's the world's longest movie put on 2 Blu-ray discs. Chainsaw Man. Record of Ragnarok. Okay, let's not go too far with those, because we've got disc 2 and disc 1. Yeah, don't know what to think about this series. It's here, it exists. Next up we have Saiyuki Reload, Zeroin? Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Well, that's some tenacious plastic. Let's get the trusty old nail clipper out. So now every angle of this plastic is just refusing to come off, and that's annoying. From the back, I see a region A. Well, it looks like an English dub. We've got 2 discs. And just like Levius, we've got pretty indecipherable font there. I mean, maybe I read it right. Me Baby Blu-ray. I don't think I had this already on Blu-ray. But I don't remember too well. I guess, worst case, I have another copy. Oh well. So, what do we have here? Region A. That looks like an English dub is in there. This is Sentai, so it is possible that I did get this before. Because they don't mark their re-releases very clearly. Oh well. Now, it may surprise y'all to see that there's One Piece Season 12 of Voyage 3 still wrapped up. That's because my Friday friend, whom I normally would be watching this with, he's been traveling. I think he had 2 destinations, and his non-overlap, all the way up to 782 episodes. The parts of his vacations that didn't overlap just didn't give him a chance to come over on his normal Fridays. So, we have a lot of One Piece to watch. We have a lot of My Hero Academia to watch. This is ReZero. It's a lenticular cover. You can kind of see the lenticular effect there. It's a very fine lenticularness. But yeah, it's possible I've actually ordered 2 copies of this without knowing it. What does the back of this look like? That's regions A and B. English. DVD Blu-ray. The Inception of Jujutsu Kaisen is here in the feature film. And let's fail to break this plastic, and so yeah, we already looked at that stuff, so we'll just look at the inside. Yeah, well, it's stuff. Alright. And then last but not least, we have this Gundam Reconguista in G Movie Part 4. Perfect packed. Let's go ahead and try to take this off. And I'll have to double check to see if I actually already ordered this before, because maybe I have duplicates of this, in which case I'm not sure why it took so long to ship. But I can't remember. I just remember buying the anime. I don't remember how much what number volumes I was up to. I mean, it would be pretty unfortunate if, you know, this is my second time buying it. Yeah, some neat stuff in there. Don't think we need this part for this part. I feel it right there. don't think we need that. What was that? Because this is the main thing. Unfortunately, yeah, I just don't have any eye for remembering getting any of this stuff. The only reason I know I ordered 5 is because I literally did that a couple days ago, I guess. So I was kind of surprised that this arrived. So I was like, that seems to have arrived a little quick. But maybe it didn't. I'll have to double check all the things. Oh well. Well, here's this week's anime DVD collection update. Alright, I just checked my email and yeah, I guess that confirms everything. Okay, so I did accidentally order a second copy of Jujutsu Kaisen 0. Not sure what I'm going to do with it. It's at least going on the pile of accidental duplicates. Oops. But apparently I didn't do accidental duplicates with the Gundam thing. So, yeah. Hooray. Well, let's see. I accidentally left this on my mail, so I can't see the list of anime, so I can make sure I can talk about them. Because for the anime I watched this week, it seems like it's important to talk because there are a lot of season finales. Let's see. Adventurers who don't believe in humanity will save the world, episode 12. Yeah. Okay, yeah, it was a core finale, a season finale, something like that. I guess with the idea of the series reflecting a little bit on kind of its state of being, but setting things up to continue, so like a breaking point. It was okay, I suppose. Campfire cooking in another world with my absurd skills, episode 11. What happened in this one? What happened in this one? Okay, yeah. So, more fun stuff, I guess. Definitely kind of curious what the follow-up to it is. Although, I guess it'll be an episode 12, so it could be a season finale sort of thing. It didn't feel like as big of an event happened from the perspective of our main characters, but from the setup of the world around them, I guess it could be considered a kind of big thing, so it'll be interesting to see the follow-up from that. But yeah, I'm blanking on the details of absolutely everything that happened in the latest episode. It was just fun. I just remember that. The Magical Revolution of the Reincarnated Princess and the Genius Young Lady, episode 12. I guess it ended with a final big drama, which is kind of okay for all the drama stuff that's been going on. Again, you know, if there's something about the series that's a little off, it's that it doesn't feel like it's I don't know. I don't feel like it grabs you at the very beginning for the same reason that you continue watching it per se. Not necessarily bad, just something a little off with that I've just mentioned the whole time. And maybe other people didn't feel the same way. Onimai, episode 12. So, no surprise, you know, I talked about how not a lot of animation stuff jumped out at me. This time there were definitely a couple of things where it's like, okay, yeah, they cranked the budget back up a little bit for a season finale. And they also had a major event happen, and they also had the Hot Springs episode. And it's kind of interesting because there was some of the animation in this episode that was a little uncharacteristic for Onimai. Not necessarily in a bad way, but more in a mediocre way, I suppose. Because there have been things where, like, when the show would have a character running down a hallway to jump in a door, it would feel like every frame was drawn very crisply, and they don't do the moe blob where it's like, okay, this is a girl-shaped blob making its way to that door. That's kind of a neat style in and of itself, but Onimai wasn't doing that. But then they did something that was kind of the radical opposite of that, which is when our characters were fleeing an area, they deliberately went with a super abstract style. And it might make sense because it was related to the fact that they were in hot springs and there were certain things they probably didn't want to draw or give you the impression that could be drawn, I suppose. But I just remember that. I remember that moving to that room being a little weird. Kind of some of the characters sprawling out in weirdly animated ways. I thought there was an odd head angle somewhere in there. Very reminiscent of the very first episode's strange angles that they animated the main character when they were gaming on their computer. Overall interesting stuff. If there were any complaint about the episode, it's that I didn't get to see that ending song again, which, is, like I said, it's very... It usually makes up for a lot of the episodes that don't have any animation that jump out because that ending credits is kind of something else. Let's see. Iceblade Sorcerer Shall Rule the World, Episode 12. I guess there was a conflict that happened. I feel like it wasn't the most satisfying of battles for me. It's hard to tell you what exactly was off about it. Some strange, curious things and developments, but I suppose it's along the lines of what I kind of expected the season finale to be. I don't think it's necessarily done because it's, introduced, oh, well, if the next season happens, well, then our main character is going to be participating in this thing that this other character is interested in having them participate in. But, I think, I wouldn't call it the strongest entry this season, and it's fine. Farming Life in Another World, Episode 12, it was an ending. I think there was a little bit more, but as a finale, I think it reflected a little bit more. I'm trying to remember exactly because I'm blanking a bit. I just remember it wasn't bad, it just was definitely something else other than what the series had been up to that point, and that makes sense because, we couldn't just sit there watching it growing forever and ever and ever. But it was setting up stuff, and overall, yeah, it's okay. I enjoyed the series overall. I didn't expect anything strong story-wise, so that's fine. Giant Beasts of Ours, Episode 12. Well, I guess I'm not sure what to think about how it ended, because I don't think that's the ending. I think it's expecting another season. Maybe that's for the best, because there were things that revealed that it didn't fully reveal that, for the most part, if this was the final episode, then I would say it unfortunately did not feel very fulfilling as a story. I'm not quite sure if it had the correct kind of themes going on for an overarching story. It was just interesting for what we got to see. So an okay series. If you're curious, I probably would have rated it higher than Iceblade Sorcerer, even though, I'm kind of implying there are storytelling issues with both. Yeah. Let's see, Fruit of Evolution, Season 2, Episode 11. Interesting revelations about the world in general and actual season-relevant stuff going on. It's okay. I'm kind of waiting to see what else it's going to do, but it's better than the distractions that have been the past couple of episodes, I suppose. Chilling in my 30s after getting fired from the Demon King's army, and it's kind of pleasant sort of ending. A bit of conflict there, but may be the right sort of ending for what the kind of show it was. Probably. I'm trying to think if there would be anything specific I would say about it. But yeah. The reincarnation of the strongest exorcist in another world. How exactly did this season end? Or was this the end of the season? I'm now blanking on the details of everything, but I can't help but feel like maybe something about this didn't feel like the last episode. But it did reveal something very interesting, so that could make it notable as a season finale. I'm just trying to remember what happened immediately after that. Yeah, fine. but kind of a cool season finale if this was a season finale, or core finale if this was a core finale. Next up, saving 80,000 gold in another world for my retirement, episode 12. Let's see. That was good. For the most part, I think it's been a very it's been a very saving 80,000 gold ending, where I guess important, notable things happened. They were kind of fun, but at the same time, it sort of felt like it was playing on easy mode to a certain degree. Like, some of the conflicts and confrontations and our character's eccentric way of handling them, it's like not designed to be the biggest conflict. I mean, this isn't by the grace of the gods bad. It was just, you know, interesting stuff that happened, I suppose. Yeah, interesting stuff that happened, I suppose. Handyman Saito in Another World, episode 12. Yeah, definitely something like a season or core finale. If there was any problem with it, is that while it did end on a notable note, a highly notable note, it felt like a slight road bump of a major story that ended and resolved with things that they were at the very end, with a couple of one-off side stories that maybe sort of kind of bring together this feeling of you know, how our main character's connected to all the people around him and appreciated, because the entire premise of the series is, you know, he was a handyman in modern day Japan, and he was underappreciated for his ability to really just do whatever needed to be done at the moment. A jack of all trades sort of person. But, you know, it's kind of nice. Some nice sentiments in there. Some funny little things. Just, I guess if you weren't a big fan of Handyman Saito's kind of jagged storytelling mechanism, then you probably still felt a little bit of that here. But if you never cared about it, then chances are you probably found it a perfectly enjoyable final episode of the core or the season. By the Grace of the Gods, Season 2, Episode 12. Again, I'm pretty sure season finale, and this season finale was pretty standard for By the Grace of the Gods. You know, very, very, no real actual conflicts, just sort of good things always happening to our main character sort of thing. And, you know, maybe enjoyable, maybe not. I assume if you've watched far enough to say that, yeah, I kind of enjoy what's happening, chances are you probably continue enjoying Season 2 as well. To Your Eternity, Season 2, Episode 20, which wrapped up this season, and, you know, it kind of went with its somewhat sped up storytelling pace as compared to the previous couple of episodes for large parts of it. I mean, there were things that it did that needed to wrap up certain other things, but it felt like some of the wrap-up was a little quick, but I can understand why. It's because there wouldn't actually be much to it. But beyond that... excuse me. Beyond that, if there wouldn't be that much to it otherwise, then if there's anything I would complain about, it's that Season 1 kind of ended with oh yeah, that was kind of a somber, sort of deep-feeling moment. And I don't feel like we ever got to feel what the actual resolution of that was. Was that just a sentiment that was a send-off for episode or Season 1, or is there more to actually still come of that? I'm not really sure. But, it did suggest there's going to be a Season 3. I'm definitely curious where it's going to go with Season 3 because it looks like something completely different. Now, whether or not it's thematically relevant, I'm not quite sure, because it felt like there was kind of a thematic element going on with Season 2, although I kind of don't know if I've got a good feel what it was like at the end there. But interesting stuff. And then last but not least, Reborn to Master the Blade from Hero King Extraordinary Esquire, Episode 12, another season or core finale. And okay, from a storytelling perspective, I don't know if I felt like there was some sort of big overarching story. It was just mostly, I guess enjoying the main character. And this last episode had some okay action. There's pacing issues, I would say, with it. So it is what it is, and some of it was a little underwhelming, maybe, but not necessarily bad. It's nice that it ended on action, because it began on a really great one, and it had great moments in that series, and so that's a notable thing about the series itself. And the past couple of episodes have definitely ramped things up to be more interesting and a curiosity. But we've kind of reached the end of this core season. Whatever. What else? Obviously, so part of the problem I'm not remembering some of this anime perfectly is because a lot of attention and energy has gone into Dead by Daylight to make progress in the Rift. I'm actually pretty far along. I've only got like 2 or 3 levels left to go. I think it's actually only 2 levels. 3's possible. I could be misremembering. But, I think I've got the rest of this week to do it. And my goal here is to max out the Rift and then purchase the Rift Pass, because I've never purchased it after finishing the Rift. I just want to see it for myself. I don't think it does anything spectacular. But I just want to do it, just to have done it. Mostly I've been playing a lot of Dredge. So I tend to play in the low MMRs, and I know I'm not playing with people of my skill level, but I kind of like giving people these introductory bumps to the game. And I've been enjoying my Dredge just because, when you have the right mindset, then you end up teleporting ahead of people. Nobody feels like they can hide. You feel the Dredge is coming to get you. And I do that for a certain length of time. I hope everybody wants. I think I'm pretty lenient, though. So, I had a clown daily, so I did my clown daily today, and an example is, I kind of get a feeling, okay, these people are new, so I'll spread the damage around a little, and then eventually chase someone down and hook them. And the first person I hooked, there was another person that was just running right there, and I'm just like, okay, fine, whatever, I'll let you unhook, and I just go off. And they kind of picked up on, oh, this killer is actually being very considerate and nice. And I still got my 4 hooks, mostly because one of the new Fang means was hiding in a lot of lockers, not in the best way. But since I knew that Yui was around cleaning up the unhooks, I'm like, yeah, okay, here you go. I feel okay hooking you a second time because I feel you'll get unhooked. And, I kind of guessed, I bet she's running any means necessary, and she picked up a lot of pallets, so I ended up not destroying a lot of pallets. And it was kind of fun using. And I try to play like that. Maybe do some chasing people away from stuff, but evaluating, okay, these people are too scared, they've done no generators. Actually, I think in that game they managed to do 1 generator, and before I'm like, I'm just not hooking anybody anymore. I might not even damage anybody anymore because they're all too scared, nobody's healing. But at that point, I back off even more, let them do their stuff, and try to get some interesting interactions with them, especially since that helps them get blood points and stuff like that. And Dredge, of course, I'm kind of better and worse because I have better control over Dredge and versus Clown. You may think, oh, Clown's easy, and I'm surprised at how good my aim is at hitting that generator over there with a bottle. But I'm not somebody that would be very notable as Clown. In fact, half the time I intend to playfully throw down some speed mist for me and the survivors around. It's like, I thought that was yellow, but I guess it was purple. Purple means that it caused everybody to scream instead. And that scared all the newbies away. The Yui stayed behind because she kind of knew I wasn't going to do anything. But, with Dredge, it's like, okay, I'm using all aura perks, so it's really hard to hide from me. And at the same time, I travel around the map and I know how to use my traversal to kind of figure out who's working on what gems, who might be healing or injured in certain areas. Because you get a lot of sounds when you transition between lockers. And at the same time, you know, if somebody's predictable enough, then you can surprise them by teleporting to a locker. And my best one was on the swamp map. Nightfall had happened and I came out of a locker. Actually, I might not have come out of a locker yet. I was probably hiding in there, letting the sound turn off because it was close to a generator. And the Leon, for those of you who know, this is on the pier in one of the corners of the swamp map. You know, the Leon kind of figured out, oh shoot, the dredge is there, and so he starts running off. I'm like, you know, he's done this before. You know, I hop out of the locker and I watch him continue to run off. Actually, I might not have hopped out of the locker. I'm like, I know what he's going to do. He's going to go all the way up the shack over there, so I'm going to teleport to the locker there. And he jumps in, he tries to lock it, but he finds there's a dredge in there instead. So, very likely, scared the ever-living daylight out of him. And, you know, I like to teleport ahead of people or use Dredge's power to play a pallet around somebody, but they don't realize how Dredge's power works, and so, like, they vault a thing, but suddenly the dredge is there in front of them, and they're like, ah. And then eventually, you know, I back away more and more. Because I'm like, okay, everybody's been hooked once, 0 generators have been done, I'm not kicking any more generators, so I'm no longer finding anybody with no way out. I might even stop injuring people. I usually stop injuring people when somebody just kind of stops when I approach and just gives this, please, I can't take any more of this. I'm like, I understand. You know, I need to push it a little bit because for the people that don't get it, it helps keep the fear running a little bit longer, the exhilaration running a bit longer. And if I can push them just long enough, they also get pretty good blood points, even though they get out of there in like 10 or 15 minutes or something like that. Because, you know, eventually I just stop pressuring generators at all. Stop chasing them off the generators. You know, I try to evaluate where they are. It's possible I've had some games go on longer than 15 minutes. I don't know. I think it's kind of risky for me to make assumptions that I know how long these games tend to take because I don't time them. And I might not be measuring right up here, but I definitely have lots of fun doing them. And I hope these survivors have a lot of fun too. Anyways, yeah, made a lot of progress. Dead by Daylight's almost where it is. I might be close to a pausing point in Animal Crossing. I probably need to evaluate that one, but that game now has gold rose wreaths on all of the doors, so maybe when I clean up the island on Sunday, I will also upload that one again, because that one's in its complete state, with a complete museum, gold rose wreaths on all the doors, 5-star island, basically everything you could want from it. Maybe I could decorate that area up there a little bit. I don't know. Probably not, because that area up there that I'm referring to would be where lilies of the valley spawn, and I kind of want those to always be spawning for other games that might need them. But well, that game's been using a ton of them. So yeah, I might be reaching a pausing point where I can finally not focus on Animal Crossing anymore. For Pokemon, you know, I got my Decide Why previous week. I participated in some of the Chansey stuff because Chansey's, there was a good chance it was going to be easy, and it was even more than easy. They gave the Chansey heal pulse, so it could heal your Pokemon. That's kind of funny. And truth of the matter is, it may try to anyways, just so it can use Last Resort. Even though Last Resort didn't do anything with its abysmal attack stat. Seismic Toss was really more it. But it was fine, just some good old freebies. I guess we got Samurott coming up, and I have to figure out if I'm equipped to try to deal with that. But, I don't know. I'm exhausted. I've got goals, and those goals are to try to go up 1 level of Rift each day. I hit the weekend a little harder than usual in order to get ahead of that in case I run out of steam during this week trying to do that. So yeah, just doing all that stuff. And with most of these season finales having, well, finale'd, I'm probably going to look at watching something else on my own time. So like, I'll still have campfire cooking tomorrow, but I might watch, I don't know, maybe more season 4 of Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon, because I do know it looks like that completed airing, but I don't know if the dubbed episode's completed, so maybe I'll do that, or maybe the dubs aren't quite there yet. There's a handful of potential series, but I think this coming weekend is when the next block of stuff starts coming out, and it might be coming out bunched together, so I might naturally spread it apart throughout the week. We'll have to find out. Or maybe this past season was just a fluke for me and I just won't have the energy to start watching new series. I don't know that that's the case. After all, I've got plenty of things that I've never finished watching, like Log Horizon. And I'm probably going to prioritize the Konosuba movie because season 3, I think, unless you count the movie as season 3, in which case season 4. But the next series of episodes starts coming out. Probably won't watch those as they come out because I've been watching English dubbed. I'll have to decide. Yeah, I don't know. Alright, I'm babbling. I'm definitely feeling that exhaustion. Y'all, have a nice week.